Let's talk about the VA drama. I didn't throw my hat in the ring. I've been speaking about it a lot on my stream, but I kind of was hoping in which that it would just quietly simmer down and people would stop crashing out and stop bugging out. And I was absolutely 1000% wrong. And I feel like at this point, I'm getting a bunch of questions about it. I'm just going to put how I feel right here. I think it's insane that these VAs have found a way to make the public perception be in support of Hoyoverse. This is something that I thought I would never see in my life, in the sense of like, there's so much negativity with Hoyoverse at the moment, and they have found a way, specifically Corinna and Kaylee, these are the two, I think, the most apparent points at the moment, that, I don't know, man, it's just kind of crazy to me. So, if you don't know, the TLDR, Jacob, he makes his tweet. The tweet, I don't think the guy meant any harm, but I could see how you could take this as it's kind of him coming off like a passing of the torch, whatever. Genuinely, stupid tweet. I'm not going to lie to you. And I do think that the protections for AI are very valid, but unfortunately, this has spiraled out into something that is more than that. And if the VAs and the union were honest about what's going on and gave their full goal, as opposed to just hiding behind the AI protections portion, this wouldn't be as much of a big issue. But this video, I think, is what really is like, all right, this is a problem. I'm going to play this video. I'm going to try not to pause it as much. But there's a lot of problems with this video, and this is the issue. So,
okay, here's the thing. If voice actors, both non-union and union, in a video game want a game to go union, the game should go union. Nobody else's opinion matters. That's it.
I mean, so off rip, we're not even mentioning the AI. They're just talking about pro-union, non-union, whatever. But nobody else's opinion matters. That's it. When you're dealing with something as these voice actors have portrayed it as, and I do agree, I think this is a very sensitive topic in which that if AI takes over everything, we're all screwed. We're all screwed, right? But if this is something that's really sensitive and really, really means the world to you, you would find a way to portray your message in a way where you're not attacking and villainizing people. The person against the screen feels like they're being talked to and not having a conversation with. And that is why, off rip, in the first 11 seconds of this video, it is cooked. It is cooked. They lost before this, and they've indefinitely lost now because of this. And I'm going to go over some other tweets in a moment. You don't do this. You don't communicate this way. I'm not a big communication police. I know that sounds hypocritical coming from the dude who screams about everything and yells about everything, right? But I'm just screaming about bullshit Hoyoverse games. When you're talking about this and you're claiming people are spreading misinformation, the way to combat misinformation in a very good way is to provide the counter to that misinformation in a normal way. Not in a crash out video on TikTok, but let's continue. Again, absolutely insane so far.
And YouTubers don't know anything. YouTubers don't know anything. They're not voice actors. They've never been in my industry. They don't know what my industry is about. They don't know anything about SAG. They don't know anything about being a non-union actor either.
I feel like there's no reason for YouTubers to lie, right? Now, again, you could say maybe people have misinformation, but this is another situation where you're just actively trying to diminish and attack anyone saying anything. And so you don't need to be in the union or to be a VA to do research and find this information. And there's a person, I don't remember their name, I apologize. I think the homie's name is Choi. Really great thread about the Taft-Hartley Act and how people are forced to be into the union, but there's options about it. Now, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, homie had an amazing thread in which it communicated very well. It gave counterpoints, and then he countered those counterpoints, and bro was honestly spitting. He's spitting, bruv. This is not that. I don't know what this is. This is a public crash out, and then after that, they're going to yell at everyone else and say they're the problem. Again, this is not a good look. Also, when you attacked Jacob while you were still VAing in the game. Now, I'll get to that portion in the moment, but I just want to let the clip play first.
Stop telling me to go to liars. Liars.
I don't know who's telling her to go to liars.
To lie to you.
Who's telling them? Excuse me.
I'm sorry. They have more incentive to lie.
They don't.
They have more of an incentive to lie because idiots like you fall for their shit and they get.
You're now on like 44 seconds and it's like the third or fourth time you're now talking at people, and then genuinely just insulting them. There's no way, like, I don't understand who thought this was an effective way to communicate. They gotta uninstall Twitter and TikTok from their phone, like ASAP. There is no reasons for YouTubers to lie. Honestly, if you really want to think about it, if a YouTuber makes a video defending the strike, they'll probably get way more views than being critical of the strike, because people are like, wait, what? This idiot's defending it? I mean, yeah, like, and so it's this narrative and the constant tonal shift of the whole strike that has gone on that has damaged it, because this keeps happening. The goalpost keeps moving and the narrative keeps changing. We hate Jacob because Jacob's a scab, but we like Paimon and we like Sayu because it's okay. They're pretty cool, though. They're pretty cool, right? As Kaylee said, I'll jump to in a moment. Well, this is Corinna's bread and butter. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? The hard truth that I don't think a lot of people want to hear is the two easiest things to replace in this world right now is static art, right? Non-moving art and fucking voices. That's what AI is going to target first. It's going to happen eventually, 1000%, whether we like it or not. Now, can you try to suppress that and keep it from occurring as long as possible? Abso-fucking-lutely. Are you evil for doing that? No. But you're all hypocrites when you attack one dude, one fucking guy, when yourself and other VAs are still actively a part of this. And I feel bad for the VAs who are not speaking out and they just want to have fucking AI protections. They just want to live a normal life. Like, this ruins it for them. Like, you know, now everyone thinks all the EN VAs are stupid, which is unfair. You can't generalize like that. But anyways, let's continue. By the way, yeah.
Get paid for that. Hello?
Oh, Lord.
God forbid. I want my industry to actually, like, I don't know, function, and that everybody gets paid and everybody gets, like, health care. Did you know that, like, once things become union, people get paid a lot more? So people are like, oh, but, you know, then some non-union actors will have to join the union. Yeah, they'll be able to, easily, because they'll get paid more. Also, there are options that the union has to help pay for those things. There are options to help people pay for the union dues.
I'm just letting it play right now.
Within SAG, but you don't know that.
No, I don't know that, no.
Oh my God, it's almost like you're not an actor.
Oh, for sure.
Like you're not a voice actor.
Yeah, no, it's my fault. It's my fault, though. Sorry, I apologize.
YouTubers.
Yeah, no, we're not.
Bottom line is,
Traveler! Diesel has a bit. Let me stop.
Is that both non-union actors and union actors in a video game want it to go union and have wanted it to go union?
Well, they don't. It's a generalization. Very big generalization.
So nobody else's opinion that is super fucking wrong anyway
of course,
matters. Hope this helps.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm getting that on a shirt. Hopes this helps, right? And then there's this clip from, I don't know, I think 2020 or something, 2022.
So when you did it,
I think I don't need to give any more commentary on that. Horrible clip, horrible delivery, horrible message. It's just a massive L, right? But then you look at this.
to LA, how did you get into SAG?
I was forced into it. So my first like on camera thing was Aquila and the Bee, where I had a few lines.
Giga Chad looking dude, by the way.
Like at that time, I was flying back and forth from Seattle to LA, and then I actually booked a movie in Seattle. And while I was on set for that movie was when I was what's called a must join, because it's when you work within SAG at some point.
I ain't saying anything. I'm just letting it rock.
Like
I'm just letting it rock.
The first job you have in SAG, you're SAG eligible at that point.
Yeah. But you didn't join immediately.
Right away because it's really expensive.
It's expensive. Yeah, for sure.
And then I booked that movie, and then because I worked a certain amount of hours, you have to work a certain
you
amount
have
of
to
hours
join.
in SAG, and then you become what's called a must join, and you have to join to be able to
exactly
work, on SAG, like SAG projects again. And I was in the middle of the movie, so I had to join.
I feel like if you want to try to paint in which that the SAG and the union gives protections, I mean, probably, bro. Like, you know, listen, let's be honest with you. Most people on the internet don't know what a union is and don't really understand how they function, that they're nonprofits. So unions probably do provide protection to these people and will help with lawsuits and whatnot, but also pretending and like minimizing your own previous experience of having to join because you started working on a SAG project and you knew it was expensive, so you didn't join at first because you didn't get paid it. But you got paid the union rate. It's just kind of cringe. And this is what I'm saying. It's a consistent. It's like I don't even want to make this video, but it's a consistent battle of hypocrisy and virtue signaling and trying to guilt trip people. And then you have Kaylee Mills, which, by the way, massive fan of their work. And you see this where they're replying to some person. This is one small job for him, as in Jacob, not his full-time work. It's Corinna's bread and butter. He's done very little VO, so it isn't what he's relying to pay on the bills, to pay for the bills. For all we know, his wife's the breadwinner. Either way, they bought a house recently, so I doubt it was a necessary job for survival. Hey man, in my market, in my climate, when you buy a house, you probably need some fucking income to buy it, right? When you look at this tweet and they're pocket watching dudes, but again, absolutely ignoring the fact that Corinna is still there doing it, right? And other people in SAG-AFTRA are still actively VAing, but you're going to pocket watch this dude online and make a wild claim saying in which that maybe his wife is paying the bills. Like, dude, the guy has fucking children. Like, nobody fucking knows his situation. The only one who knows his situation is him. It's consistently rules for thee and not for thy, and that's the problem, where they've actively turned everyone against them because they have been genuinely assholes. By the way, Kaylee Miller's defending Moses VA, who actually confirmed and admitted for abusing and coercing sexual partners. Just throwing that out there. What the fuck? You draw a line in the sand on AI strikes, but you won't draw a line in the sand on the dude who admitted this, right? It's just weird to me. I don't understand how a good cause, a genuine good fucking cause, can have so much backlash because these people can't control their fucking tempers and listen to these dumb idiot trolls. First of all, again, everyone should have been upfront about the whole thing to begin with and giving the whole narrative as opposed to just one piece of it, right? Like, I'm the first one to shit on Hoyoverse. But like, hey, 6 months fucking later, Kenich's old VA, he's not, doing the part in solidarity for the movement. God fucking bless some random other motherfucker would have took the role anyways. Like, we're gonna sit here and shit on this dude because he's a scab and because, well, he probably doesn't need the money. And then you had other VAs, they've deactivated their account saying, well, Paimon's not a scab. Paimon literally themselves said they were a scab and they don't have the balls to drop out. It's fucking crazy. I don't know. I don't understand what is happening here. This should have been the easiest fucking W. The easiest W for the perception. And honestly, people wouldn't have even looked into it even more about the SAG-AFTRA shit and all the other union fees and how SAG-AFTRA shits on other companies. And, like, for example, SAG employees, if they go to a non-union job, they encourage you to apply there. But then after that, you kind of hold the studio hostage. Like, hey, listen, I'll join if you switch to the union. What the fuck? What the fuck? That shit's expensive, bro. So the easiest W has turned into the biggest, fattest L, and it's really sad to see. It fucking sucks. But rules for thee, rules for not me is bullshit, and the hypocrisy is fucking insane. And honestly, learn how to talk to people. This is the 500th thing that's happened with Corinna. I mean, at that point, they're so ingrained into the story, they will never be replaced. But bro, that's a fucking PR nightmare. This whole thing's a PR nightmare, man. Getting the public perception to be on Hoyoverse's side is crazy. That being said, I love you. Mwah. I'll see you in the next one. And the word of the day is peace, love, and